Hi everyone, welcome. This is my living room. I wanted to show you some of the beautiful plants that we collect. I like having a green space and also just a cozy environment, and plants really bring that to a living room. So today I'll be walking you through a tutorial on how to paraphrase. Back to the basics, we're going to be underlining some keywords, finding some synonyms to replace those words, and then we're going to talk about ways you can review the vocabulary that you're learning as you paraphrase. What is paraphrasing and why is it important? Why does it even matter? Well, first of all, paraphrasing is taking what someone else has written or said and putting it into your own words. This jersey actually comes from my dad's high school years when he played on the rugby team at Arizona in high school in Arizona. Prepositions. My dog looks so cute right now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what I was saying is you can see his name on it and it's 100% wool and it's so comfortable. Do you want me to show you my dog now? Oh my gosh. She's so cute. Oh, are you tired? Are you sleeping? Mm-hmm. And it's useful at the college level and also at the high school level when you're writing analytical essays or papers for your university classes, for example. So these are some really nice, useful tools for you, and I'm sure it will help expand your vocabulary as well. And then I'll show you how to take some of the words you're using and put them into an Anki flashcard tool to help you review those words on a weekly basis. Now, I want to make a little side note here about paraphrasing. There is something called citing your sources. And if you are writing a formal academic paper, you do need to use APA or MLA formatting. And that would be something out of the scope of this video that I could do a separate tutorial on if you're interested in learning those citation methods. If you're directly quoting from the source, you obviously need to cite it. And if you're paraphrasing and you need to mention the author because it's coming from the specific text, then you also need to cite the paraphrase text and where that has come from. Okay? I love it. And I mostly want to just motivate you to keep working on sentence structure and word choice and improving your language abilities. And let's get started.
The lesson. The first thing that you want to do when you're paraphrasing is that you want to highlight the keywords. When you highlight the keywords, you're going to identify some words that maybe cannot be paraphrased. There are some technical terms, some academic language, and you're just going to realize, okay, I cannot paraphrase every single thing in this sentence. This sentence comes from a text that I wrote about Jamie Escalante, who was a high school calculus teacher. So the sentence is, my high school students wanted to own expensive, flashy cars. As you can see, I did highlight students, own, expensive, flashy, and cars. And actually, I could also paraphrase wanted to, desired to, for example. So this is the sentence we're going to start paraphrasing today. The step 2 is to find synonyms for the key words. So if we look at the sentence, I've highlighted some of the words that we're going to look for replacements for or substitutions for. Students could be replaced with something like learners, pupils, which is a kind of an older term, high schoolers, which would work well. You may be wondering where I found these words. I looked up on thesaurus.com. You can do a Google search for synonyms. Sometimes I do that really quickly. You can also search on word reference. And I'll show you some other tools today during this tutorial that are really helpful. Own could be replaced with possess, have, or obtain. As you can see, some of these may be more formal. Like, for example, obtain would be more formal than have. So when I'm making the final choice of which word to replace it with, I have to kind of look at that. Do I want it to sound more formal, more informal? So for expensive, I've found luxurious, pricey, or posh. Flashy then is like showy, ostentatious, or loud. All of those would work. Cars you could replace with automobiles or vehicles. So this is the first thing I've done. I've looked up all of these words and I've gotten some doubts from students about, well, how do you really know if it fits? How do you know if that is which one is the best choice? Because, you'll see that in the next step, we could check the word. If you have doubts, if you're really not sure, you're thinking, well, is this word the best fit in this context? So I might look up in Lingue, which is a great tool for you. It has an amazing translator that you should check out as well. I would look up the word flashy and put it with cars, for example. Lingue allows you to see how often this combination of words comes up in blog posts or online and news stories. So as you can see, I see pizza and flashy cars. Okay, this looks like a nice collocation. Flashy cars, flashy sports cars. So you can see that it turns up enough that it's commonly used. Because for some students, it's really hard to know, is this word something that fits naturally together? Is it something that is used typically in the English language? Be helpful. Then we're going to look at the part of speech. When you're looking at it in an online thesaurus, I want to point out here that you can, for example, look and see right here. This will tell you what part of speech it is, and this says adjective. This is another tab that you can click on where it's the noun. The other day I was working with some of my students, and basically they weren't sure if they were finding a synonym for the noun, novel, like a book, or if they were finding a synonym for the idea of original and something new. So we had to kind of go back to the original sentence and see which part of speech we were looking for. And thesaurus.com can be really confusing because it can give you synonyms for the noun, the adjective, the verb. So you have to pay attention to what part of speech it is in the sentence to get that correct synonym. Okay, so that's just a nice little tip for you. Oh, I've got some more circles there. I guess those just came up. How cool. Okay, step 3, substitute the keywords for one of the options. So we will choose one of the best options. Here I've chosen pupils have pricey because it really does fit better in terms of that idea of expensive, showy, and automobiles. Then you have your new sentence. My high school pupils wanted to have pricey, showy automobiles. Okay. So this sentence is paraphrased on the level of vocabulary. And these are some amazing resources to help you. For example, there's quillbot.com, grammarly.com. There's also a Google extension for Grammarly, dictionary.com to look up the further definition to double check to see if it is the correct fit, thesaurus.com, lingue.com. And then here are some other kind of posts and blog posts that you can check out as well if you want further information about paraphrasing. I'm here at quillbot.com. This is a really nice robotic paraphrasing tool. I wouldn't rely too much on it, especially for the TOEFL exam. I mean, you're not going to be able to use any kind of a robotic paraphraser on any kind of an exam. So these skills need to be built up over time. And what Quillbot does is it just helps you find synonyms, in my opinion. So my high school students wanted to own expensive, flashy cars. So this is the sentence we were just looking at. I'm going to look at paraphrasing it and see what happens here. What's cool about this is that you can, for example, go over and just kind of hover over a word and it will show you a lot of examples, like my high schoolers. Desired to, longed to, drive. I think this one I wanted have. Pricey could go to expensive. It could go to extravagant, glitzy, again, showy. I can't remember if we were trying to, we're going showy, and then automobiles, for example. So what I like about this tool is that it gives you some more exact terms, and it's just fun to play around with. So check out quillbot.com. It might help you and give you inspiration. And then you can, for example, take some of these words that you're learning and put them into Anki.com. I'm choosing a Spanish expression that I learned today, and I'll put save. And that was just added to the deck. here are my decks. Sometimes I like to review. So ideally, what you're doing is using the paraphrasing methodology and techniques to expand your vocabulary. And then you are inputting those new words into Quizlet or Anki, and then you can review those new words so that you don't forget them throughout the week using spaced repetition. It's a really great method, and I hope that you find it as useful as I do. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson.